But yeah, my sort of favorite part on the album is when I think it's for the song Always Something, which I haven't released yet. But there's a cool point where it's a massive breakdown and then we use the EBO on it. And it took us a couple of run-throughs to get the right harmonics, but we got there in the end. It sounds really cool.
Welcome to Audio Technology Magazine's IsoBooth podcast, where we phone audio engineers and producers at home. And thanks to the pandemic lockdown, they answer. Hey everyone, Chris here, and welcome to another AT IsoBooth conversation. I'm talking today with Matty from the band Planet. Welcome, Matty.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
So look, I'm no music pundit, but having listened to the three released tracks, Planet tracks on YouTube, it's pretty clear to me, as well as a lot of other people, that you guys are destined for big things. You've got your debut album coming out next March. It's called Information Overload. Exciting times to be a exciting talent, an Australian up-and-coming band. How are you feeling?
Awesome. Thanks so much for such a nice introduction. I'm feeling really good. I'm just really happy to finally be releasing our debut album, which is super exciting. And to actually play live shows, because that has been a fast but all in all, very excited and just happy to finally get this released and out in the world.
So it wasn't the journey was far from what you hoped or expected to be, obviously. And from the story, some of the story that I heard was that you basically had this, it all planned out pre-pandemic, that you were going on this tour, Europe, and then you were going to end up in Adrian Bushby's studio in London, and you're going to station yourself there for a month and record the album. It sounds absolutely perfect. You must have been like, all of your dreams come true.
It was very exciting. And then, everything hit. Rescheduled the UK tour like 3 times, and then like, okay, we need to do an album. So there was lots of Google Drive sending stems and lots of Zoom meetings, that's for sure. But we got there in the end.
So maybe talk to me in a little more detail about how you were able to record and get this album produced almost by remote control. So you still had Adrian's influence in the album, but obviously he wasn't able to hit record or move mics. So pretty much, I'm in my home studio in Redfern. I have like a simple setup. I have like an RME 5-face UCX and the LA610. But that's pretty much all I really need. I do all the vocals on SM7B. And then after we did all that tracking and studio with Lachlan, pretty much did like a rough sort of edit and all that, and then sent it over to him via Google Drive, which is very interesting. I haven't really done that before, like sending whole sessions and gigs and gigs and gigs of files over. Ended up getting to him, and we ended up recording. We got some people, I think it's Pete Wheeler from Manchester, to record strings on the album as well. So we got viola, violin, and cello as well, which is very, very cool to have. Adds that extra element. So what did you notice, I guess, what Adrian was doing, like after you send him these stems or these tracks that you uploaded?
Yeah, he's just a master of clarity. It's crazy when you send something which, I'm not the best at mixing. I can sort of do it. I don't know, like my boundaries. Sending these tracks that you sort of roughly mix, and it's like, oh, cool, it sounds nice. And then getting it back from him, it's like, wow, I hear every single thing, and everything has its own space. And even though we probably maybe overtracked, it was cool. You could still hear everything clearly. It was really cool.
So what were some of some of the stresses of doing it in this way? Like, what were some of the big stresses?
it definitely would have been ideal and would have been a dream to be right in the studio and sort of doing everything and knowing exactly what to do, and sort of just having that sort of proper human connection, like not over video, with the person who was mixing and producing the record. But because we couldn't, it was just like it was a bit weird sort of doing it that way. But I think it sort of panned out after heaps of Zooms and all that, and lots of talking and trying to explain. But once we got the mixes back, it was pretty easy to write notes and do all of that on it, there weren't that many notes, to be honest with you. But it was, that was definitely probably the most annoying part of it. But it was also pretty nice as well, doing it in a way where we're in a studio where we're not really restraints. We're not pressured too much to just do, explore different options, which was really refreshing, I feel. You could sit back and sort of, I want to try this part out. I want to try this part out. Yeah.
So what are some of your kind of favorite moments on the new album? Like I guess, getting it produced by, sort of a big name studio person, and, I guess having that confidence of being able to put it into the world, knowing that it's kind of buffed and shined, and it's as good as you can make it. Are they some of the feelings? Like, what are some of the highlights, I guess, of having it produced that way?
I think it was mainly the clarity and just seeing these little techniques that popped out, which are like we would have never thought of, especially with Need More. There's like this cool like harmonic thing he did with like an Echo Boy and the crystallizer, and it sort of just popped in there. It sounded like a nice little like harp sort of playing in the background, which is a mad technique, and that was really, really cool seeing him come up with that. There's also just like little moments where where the strings sort of just like, they over interlap and come in with the like overdriven electric guitar riff, and having them sort of meld together just sounds really nice. It was really cool. But yeah, my sort of favorite part on the album is when we, I think it's for the song Always Something, which I haven't released yet. But there's a cool point where it's a massive breakdown, and then we use the EBO on it. And it took us a couple of run throughs to get the right harmonics, but we got there in the end. It sounds really cool.
So what are some of the items of gear and the things that mean a lot to you as a band that have helped shape the sound that you're producing?
I know. I always use a Les Paul, which is like pretty standard, but it's definitely the fattest sounding guitar there is. So that's why I chose it. Tom uses a Strat and a Telly, and he loves it to bits. It's really good. But he also uses a Line 6, so he's on the digital train with that, and it's really, really, really interesting. I didn't know much about it, but he's gone through all the manuals and all the books and stuff and made it sound really cool. Definitely, I use a Rat pretty much for like all my distortion. And I just got my hands on a 1975 MXR distortion, which I'm really excited to sort of take over. And classic Tube Screamer is always really my sound. What else? I just bought a Gretsch, so I got a Duojet, which that made it onto the record, which I'm really happy about. I got to get it for you, actually.
Cool.
This little guy, Cadillac green. Little big thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Sounds incredible.
Yeah. So how do you, I guess, sort of refine, what do you do to tour? Like, you've had a lot of time to think about this, and you haven't probably played many shows in the last couple of years, but what's your stage setup like, and how does it differ? Like, what decisions have you had to make?
So with us, we have a sort of a pretty simple setup. It's bass, drums, electric. Tom does BVs, and I do lead, singing, and rhythm. and it's pretty much all simple. We have SPD SX, which we do some triggers on and sort of helps with some backing tracks.
What sort of venues and gigs have you got planned for Europe and UK?
So we got a pretty hectic run, to be honest with you. I think it's like 14 or 15 shows in like 3 weeks. So we got we're playing Great Escape, which would be really cool. We're going to be doing Sound City. We have, actually, I'll get it up here. Where is this?
So a lot of festivals and.
I need to find. Yeah, lots of festivals, lots of. It's pretty much just all headlines as well, which is really exciting. And then hopefully record album 2 when we're over there. I think that's the plan. So we're going to be over there for a little bit. I think we're going to have a 5-month stint over there just because we haven't been able to get over there. So just all the festivals, all the headlines. I think we have like a couple of 5 shows in a row, which is pretty daunting, but it's better than nothing. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So how did you get a following in the UK?
We've done a couple of trips over there. We've done some cool support of UK bands here, like Charlton's, James, Liam Gallagher. And we've also done cool supports of Aussie bands over there, like DC Death Rays and DMAs. And that's definitely helped us along with that way. And we've been over there, I think, 4 times already now. So it's sort of helped building up. It's really, really cool and exciting because it's sort of on par now with our Australian fan base, I feel, where we did like a 400 capacity in London, which was really, really cool. And it was a really nice vibe. So I think we're gonna base ourselves over there for about 5 months and just do festivals and play shows, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And will you reconnect with Adrian?
I hope so. Yeah, I would love to. He's such a great guy and just like so much fun. I'd love to even just go to his home studio and do a couple of singles, and would love to explore that option and even just meet him properly in real life, where it's only been Zoom. So,
and in your press pack, there's mention of supporting the Wiggles. What the heck's that about?
Yeah, well, they just hit us up, so which is pretty exciting. I think it's
you don't say no to the Wiggles. You can't.
No, you can't. No, it's going to be really exciting, and playing Kudos as well. It's pretty bloody cool, I reckon.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess half the audience is parents, so they're probably going to.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be like a matinee with the new Wiggles, and then we're playing with the Cockroaches, the original Wiggles, sort of at night. So, but yeah, they were definitely very big when I was kicking around as a kid. So,
right. So you're not going to have like Dorothy the dinosaur guesting or anything.
I want Captain Feathersword up there. Would be nice, but yeah,
just as the vibe guy with the maracas.
Yeah, so like Bez. Yeah.
That sounds really cool. Hey, our times are running out, so I guess just wanted to wish you luck and wish you guys all the best. It's really good to know that Aussie music's so well represented in the UK with what you guys are doing. So a lot of respect for your songwriting and your production and the way you go about things. So congratulations and good luck.
Awesome. Thanks so much, mate. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.